by Hell's Bells, Reel-to-Reel Ministries. The Marilyn Manson song Misery Machine contains the lyrics, "We're gonna ride to the Abbey of Thelema." The Abbey of Thelema was the temple of Satanist Aleister Crowley. If ever there was a God-hating degenerate, it was Aleister Crowley, 33 Mason. Aleister Crowley would definitely get some votes in the most wicked man who ever lived contest, and is the clear-cut favorite for the title of the father of modern Satanism. Crowley's wicked life and his intimate association with Freemasonry are both well known. Crowley himself was terribly decadent. A happily heroin-addicted, bisexual Satan worshipper, he asked people to call him the Beast 666. Crowley believed that he was literally the anti-messiah of the apocalypse. During the First World War, Crowley transferred his activities to America. The press proclaimed him the wickedest man in the world. He also spent time in Italy, but was expelled because Italian authorities accused his disciples of sacrificing human infants in occult rituals. According to one source, Crowley resided in the Abbey of Thelema near Cefalù, Sicily, and revived ancient Dionysian ceremonies. During a 1921 ritual, he induced a he-goat to copulate with his mistress, then slit the animal's throat at the moment of orgasm. Crowley hated God with a passion. The following overview of Crowley's life is from Hungry for Heaven by Steve Turner. Born in 1875, Aleister Crowley had, like the Rolling Stones, rebelled against a regulated small-town background. He'd been raised in Leamington, Warwickshire, by parents who were members of the Strict Brethren, a fundamentalist Christian sect. From an early age, young Aleister identified with the enemies of God in the Bible stories that were read to him. In particular, he identified with the Antichrist predicted in the Book of Revelation. In 1898 he joined the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, a magical society. Most of Crowley's adult life was dedicated to indulging in everything he believed God would hate, performing sex magic, taking heroin, opium, hashish, peyote, and cocaine, invoking spirits, and even once offering himself to the Russian authorities to help destroy Christianity. He wrote volumes of books that he believed were dictated to him by a spirit from ancient Egypt called Awas. To worship me take wine, and strange drugs, the spirit conveniently told him. Lust, enjoy all things of sense and rapture. Fear not that any god shall deny thee for this. Crowley finished his life as a sick, wasted heroin addict given to black rages and doubts about the value of his life's work. His last words as he passed into a coma on December 1, 1947, were, "I am perplexed." Steve Turner, Hungry for Heaven, pages 92, 97, 98. Aleister's father Edward was a Brethren preacher, but he had inherited a fortune from his father, who Crowley ale. Edward died when Aleister was 11, and the son inherited the fortune. From this inheritance, Aleister financed his satanic career. He began torturing and killing animals at age 12. Crowley was a heroin addict and a sexual pervert. His Christian mother referred to him as the Great Beast of Revelation, whose number is 666, and he was pleased with the title. He was convinced that he was the reincarnation of the magician Eliphaz Levi, who died the year Crowley was born. Crowley also believed he had lived other lives, including that of Pope Alexander VI. Crowley claimed that dark powers gave him the words to his Book of the Law. His first wife, Rose, died in a mental asylum. His second wife also went insane. 5 mistresses committed suicide, and scores of his concubines ended in the gutter as alcoholics, drug addicts, or in mental institutions, hellhounds on their trail. Page 56. Crowley's philosophy was as follows, which is the exact same philosophy of all witches and Satanists today. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Lust, enjoy all things of sense and rapture. Fear not that any god shall deny thee for this. I do not wish to argue that the doctrines of Jesus, they, and they alone, have degraded the world to its present condition. I take it that Christianity is not only the cause, but the symptom of slavery. Crowley, The World's Tragedy, p. 6. That religion they call Christianity, the devil they honor they call God. I accept these definitions, as a poet must do, if he is to be at all intelligible to his age, and it is their God, and their religion, that I hate, and will destroy. Crowley, The World's Tragedy, pxxx. Crowley studied Buddhism and Hindu yoga, following in the footsteps of Helena Blavatsky, and did much to popularize these in the West. Crowley died a drug addict and sexual degenerate. In 1922, Crowley published Diary of a Drug Fiend, which was about the use of cocaine. He described the widespread use of cocaine among Hollywood stars, which he described as cocaine-crazed sexual lunatics. As noted, Crowley died a wasted heroin addict given to rages and doubts. His last words were, "I am perplexed." Crowley worshipped the demon god Pan, the god of sexuality and lust. His hymn to Pan was read at his funeral. I rave and I rape and I rip and I rend / everlasting world without end. Satanists are still abducting, raping, and killing children. Reports on global government child abuse. There is an enormous amount of evidence to categorically prove to the genuine seeker of truth and justice that the secret societies run intelligence network are sexually abusing and murdering children all around the world. Born in Aleister Crowley, initiated to the highest levels of Freemasonry, and High Priest of the Golden Dawn, said, "A white male child of perfect innocence and intelligence makes the most suitable victim." In the US each year 400,000 children are reported missing. In the UK, 98,000 children are reported missing, and have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them. Ephesians 5:11. Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers, for what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion hath light with darkness? 2 Corinthians 6:14. L. Ron Hubbard, founder of Scientology, calls Crowley, "my very good friend."